Oh boy. All right. Okay, I'm going to do this video about the tricky triangle and how it relates to race relations and organizational behaviors. Now, I really have not wanted to post anything on Facebook or be in social media or watch news, especially with everything going on. Not sure why. Felt kind of. I've been feeling kind of conflicted, like not attached, and I just I don't know what's been going on. Hello, Christine. Hello, Dana. Andrew, what's up? So listen. So the reason why I want to put this out because one of the things has been several things have been on my mind, especially in regards to what's been happening, and like I've been following synchronicities recently and just like and do my best to sit in silence and to observe what's been going on. And so this morning I'm getting up and like I did a quick meditation and I go something dropped by my nightstand and I pick up this book. Actually I'm gonna pick it up. So I pick up this book called A World Waiting to Be Born. And I'm like, this is interesting. So I open up the book, and the first chapter is, this I can't make this stuff up. I really can't. Something is seriously wrong towards a redefinition of civility, right? And I was like, whoa, something's seriously wrong. What is this talking about? So when I looked at it, it was talking about something happened in Virginia. And I was like, this is bananas. So when I started looking at this, it reminded me of something that's really been on my mind since about 3 weeks ago when I learned it in my shaman training. It's called the tricky triangle. So let me explain what this is. So I'm going to draw this on here. Triangle. Okay, so on this triangle, on one side, there is the victim. Something's always being done to me. Always. On another side, there's a rescuer. I'm going to save somebody. I'm going to save something that I care about. I'm going to do something about it. Other side, the perpetrator. The perpetrator. I'm doing something to someone. Now the interesting thing, this applies to race, and when I talk about organizational behavior, organization could be anything. It could be your marriage, it could be your family, it could be your job, it's our society. So the powerful thing about this one here is that when we can be in a victim space, things are being done to us. So when you look at something from a race perspective, it could be my race is being compromised. Like I was watching something on Vice and it talked about like one of the white nationalists was like, listen, our race is being we're going to be the minority. They're a victim here. Now the thing is a victim can become a perpetrator. Because it'll get to the point where I'm just tired of this shit. I'm going to do something about it. I'm tired of getting pissed on. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. A lot of powerful movements start because of this, whether it's Black Lives Matter, Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, white nationalists marching. And I'm looking at this from an objective perspective and how this tricky triangle is real. Okay? Now, this can also go from a rescuer perspective. So from a rescuer, like, I'm going to save something. I'm going to save my right. I'm going to save this. I'm going to save my marriage, my relationship, my kid, whatever. Now, that can even get to the point where you become a perpetrator. Because I'm trying to save something, so I'm going to do something to someone else. Boop. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, anyway. So with that, even from the perpetrator standpoint, right, the perpetrator could say, I'm doing something to someone. I'm going to do this, like this is this. We're standing for our rights. This is it. I'm standing for it. Now from there, standing for your rights, like, you know what? They're doing something to me. So I am going to stand out, speak out. Hey, Christine. Now, the thing with this here, this tricky triangle, why this has really been on my mind is why this is effective is because, listen, this is a critical time in my judgment for our society. Because things that were old, that we swept under the rug and tried to cover up, with cement and a whole bunch of other fixings that appeased us for certain periods of time are shaking themselves back up to the earth. One of my mentors says everything that matters has to arise. This matters for a lot of folks. So when this comes up here, when something like this comes up, it's an opportunity for us. If we really want to progress and make change here, with the hatred in the comments, and I know it's difficult and sometimes I struggle with it, but there has to be a sense of empathy and compassion and also a detachment to really see where I am in this and where the other person is. Because then when we can start to recognize this, then we start to get ourselves out of the tricky triangle. And this is a mofo. Because it could happen at any point in our life. If you think about it, even if you go through today, even if it's just for today, think about where you could fall in line or where you may fall within that tricky triangle. This is an awareness piece, and it's something if you get in a conversation or confrontation and you get confront or presented with an argument or something, I just ask and invite you to just take a moment, be still, hear the other person, and figure out where they are in this piece. Like, what do you feel? And then you can ask questions like, okay, what do you feel was done to you? What do you feel that you want to rescue, you want to save? And how have you done this to another person? This is something to be aware of. I just wanted to put that out there because, listen, this is something important. There's a lot of stuff going on. This is stuff going on now, but this is stuff that affects our children, the next generation, what's coming up. And I rock this shirt, Africa, because that's where they say we all came from. We all came from one place. So like in biblical terms, from dust we come and to dust we return. We all come from the same place. We all have the same origin. We just experience this life in completely different ways. And when we don't acknowledge that, then we ignore and we start to become a perpetrator because we're putting our shit onto someone else or our expectations on how their experience should be onto them. No bueno. No bueno. So, listen, I just want to give you that. Thank you all so much for always tuning in and listening to this stuff that's going on in this crazy don't peace of mind. But thank you all. Thank you. And, man, just, wow. Have heart, everybody. I know it's probably the toughest thing to have heart and have love in the face of hate, but it's love for self. So you don't black out and do something that you end up regretting and also progressing what's happening. But it's also love for another. Because some people are going through shit you have no freaking idea what they're experiencing. So have compassion and understanding and have a listening ear and see what's going on. All right? Love you all. Be well.